Let's see the purpose of the four Gospels. In their four-dimensional picture of Jesus Christ as King, servant, man, and God, the Gospels centered in Messiah's threefold ministry of prophet, priest, and king. As prophet, fulfilling Moses' great prediction found in Deuteronomy 18:15 through 19. He was the prophet, power, for excellence by virtue of the uniqueness of his person. He not merely spoke for God, as other prophets who preceded him, but God spoke through him as Son. Hebrews 1:1 and 2. In contrast to the Old Testament prophet, who was voice for God the Son, being God, was the voice of God himself. As a priest, Christ became both the sacrifice and the sacrificer, as he died on the cross to save sinners. Hebrews chapter 9 verse 14. And through his resurrection, lives eternally to make intercession for them. Hebrews 7:25. As Israel's king, he was rejected at his first advent, but will reign in that office at his second advent, fulfilling the Davidic covenant. 2 Samuel chapter 7 verses 8 through 16. Luke chapter 1:30 through 33. Acts chapter 2 verses 29 through the comparison of the four Gospels. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Each one depicts Jesus in their own style, manner. Now let's see. Matthew sees Jesus as the prophesied king, and Mark sees him the obedient servant. Luke presents him as the perfect man, and John gives the account of him as the divine Son. And secondly, Matthew shows Jesus from an animal imagery like lion, and Mark presents him ox-like. Luke presents Jesus man-like, and John throws light on the eagle-like. And when we move to the next comparison, Matthew shows Jesus as the prophetic one, Mark sees Jesus as the practical one, Luke sees Jesus as the historical one, and John gives an account of the spiritual one. When we move to the next comparison, Matthew writes his gospel specifically to the Jew. Mark writes to the Roman. Luke writes to the Greek. And John writes his gospel to the church. And when we come to the next comparison, Matthew sees Jesus as the Davidic king. Mark sees him as the servant of the Lord. Luke sees him as the Son of Man, and John sees him as the Word of God. And finally, when we move to the next comparison, Matthew sees Jesus as David's righteous branch, Jeremiah chapter 23, verses 5 and 6. And Mark sees Jesus as my servant the branch, Zechariah chapter 3, verse 8. And Luke sees him the man branch, Zechariah chapter 6, verse 12. Finally, John sees him the branch of the Lord, Isaiah chapter 4, verse 2.